Hey guys, Peter here to do an EP review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the latest from Devine Defilement, Primitive Gospel. This was released back in March 1st to be precise, as a self-release. It has 4 tracks and is 17 minutes in length. This Icelandic band released their debut full-length record back in 2019 called Obliviora, and to me this EP is just a continuation of that effort. They mix brutal death metal with death metal, creating a unique signature sound and approach to the way they create music. This EP to me has 2 interesting dynamics, perhaps opposite dynamics, but interesting nevertheless, and in my opinion the way they combined them was really well done. At first glance I felt that the music had a signature sound across all 4 tracks. It was very concise, it was very linear, very straightforward. Not a lot of deviations, not a lot changing from song to song. They have a formula, and it felt to me that they were sticking with that formula across all 4 tracks. The more I listened to it, the more deeper I went into it, I also realized that there was a feeling of growth. With every song, you feel like they're adding something from the previous track and expanding upon it, and then moving to the next song. So this creates 2 different aspects. One is that it's very linear, very straightforward, and the other is one of crescendo, one of growth. How they were able to combine these 2 is really interesting, but they did it, and they did it in a flawless way because it really works for this specific EP. I was really impressed with the work, the mixing, the production, outstanding, really outstanding. This is self-release. I was expecting things to be a little bit more raw, to be a little bit more edgy, not as clear, not as understandable, not as linear, not as focused, and that's not what I got. I got something really professional out of the band, and this EP really allows them to open the door to where they want to go in the future. And perhaps for a lot of new fans that will discover them through this EP, they will be pleasantly surprised with their sound, with their approach, with their professionalism, because it's on full display on this release. Now, as far as songs are concerned, starting off with the opening track, Crucifixial Lobotomy, great opening track, in my opinion, the best one out of the 4, the one that really needs to be in the forefront, because it really allows them to open the door and give the listener a glimpse into their sound, into their approach. I love how the guitars and drums really become the backbone of this song and create that signature sound that you're going to get for the rest of the other 3 tracks. Very similar to the way it's constructed in this song, to the way the guitars and drums interact with each other. The guitars at times expand on their sound, and then the vocals come in and unleash this undeniable brutality upon the track, and I really like that. I really like the aspect of the guitars almost moving in one direction and the vocals coming in a complete opposite direction and just destroying the track completely. The song has a slow, heavy tempo in my opinion, but with these bursts of energy that come in, and they're built in between it. So it has these slower moments, but it also has these bursts that speed up the tempo, that speed up the song, and at the same time increase the brutality that the track has, pushing it from just from being heavy to being absolutely brutal. So I really like that stop and go feeling that this song has. Next one is Scalped, a more relentless track. So it picks up upon that stop and go feel that Crucifixion Lobotomy has, and just expands upon it. Here's an element that they took from the first song, moved it into the second song, and then just expanded. Musically and vocally is really relentless overall, in my opinion. It still has that stop and go feel, but to me it's that stop and go turned all the way to 11. It has a much different dynamic, has a much different momentum. It has a lot more brutality. It's even heavier at times. The guitars and drums once again become the backbone of the song, really well intertwined, weaving the sound between those 2 elements in order to create this really large bass line that everything else is built upon it. I really like the dynamic that this song offers to the overall EP. Next is Storyteller. I love the guitars on this track. They're a little bit more groovier than what they were in the previous 2 songs, but they're still brutal. One does not compromise the other. The grooviness that the guitars have in their sound does not compromise the brutality, the heaviness that the track carries. The vocal approach also expands beyond what it was in the previous 2 tracks. You kind of had a feeling in the previous 2 songs that the vocals wanted to expand a little bit more, that they wanted to become a little bit bigger, that the range wanted to go go wider, if you will. And I felt that by the time they reached the third track, you really start to feel that happening as far as the vocals are concerned. It works really well with the brutality that the song has, because the vocals themselves increase that level of brutality, increase that level of aggression and intensity that the song has. It's really a track that, in my opinion, has, like I said, bits and pieces of the previous two, and it feels like it's almost coming together in this third song. By the time you get to the fourth song, Archaic Conviction, now it is the full culmination of all four tracks built into one. This song really feels like all the main core elements that were present in the previous three songs are here, and now they're going to get expanded upon in order to create one of the bigger, heavier, more dynamic, more fluid songs on this EP. That is how they constructed, and that is how they delivered. This song is just brutality from the beginning to the end. It still has that stop and go feel, but when it goes, when the pedal is to the metal, you really feel the intensity levels just increasing, the brutality increases, the aggression increases, not just musically but vocally as well. They did a very good job pairing those two elements. When things slow down, it becomes a lot more heavier, a lot more somber. When things pick up, the intensity, the aggression, everything just blows up and destroys the track completely. Once again, this is Devine Defilement with their latest EP, Primitive Gospel. Already out there, came out March 1st as a self-release, like I said before. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on their music. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.